You need feedback from another really, really important source. Not your colleagues, but another really important source before you decide to write your proposal. And what would that source be? Any thoughts about that?
Funding agency.
What?
Funding.
The funding agency. You need to identify at least 3 grant programs that might be interested in your proposal. And if you can't identify 3 grant programs, go to the research office, learn how to search these databases. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Send off your pre-abstract to 3 different program officers at 3 different grant programs. Get their reaction. Here's what I want to do. It appears to fit your grant program for the following reasons. What do you think? Is this the kind of concept that might be considered by your grant program? I appreciate your response. You can write it simply. Don't send them a lot of information. They don't need more than about 1/3 of a page. Has anybody in the room had the experience of contacting, getting feedback from a funding agency program officer before writing their proposal? I mean, what were your experience? Yes, sir. What was your experience?
Actually, like again, obviously, whenever I submit proposals, I get in touch with the program director.
Okay.
And in most of the cases, they tell me that again, my proposal fits the scope.
Okay.
You know, and if it fits the scope, this is this time actually we are thinking of submitting a proposal to NIH and NIEHS actually, like when I talked to the program director about my idea, that person told me to change it to something that I have already done before.
Oh, really?
And basically like build on that.
Build on that.
Producing something very like new, but that is an RO1 proposal.
Okay.
So they want to see some.
RO1s, you need a huge mountain of preliminary results. You need to show that what you're doing is building on what you've already done before. He's giving you very good advice.
Exactly.
If you want to get money for a brand new idea that you haven't done a lot of work in before, you need to go for an RO3 or an R21 or R15, not an RO1. So you can get advice about how to structure your proposal. You can get advice on which funding mechanism is more appropriate for you. Should you be writing to NSF for a full-blown proposal, or maybe you should go for an RUI, Research for Undergraduate Institutions. Okay, you're also qualified at NIH for R15 area grants, okay, which are targeted schools that are underrepresented in terms of number of NIH dollars come in. So if you send an R15 proposal to NIH, you won't be competing with the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. You'll be competing with other R15 schools. When you send in an RUI proposal to the National Science Foundation, you won't be competing with faculty from the University of Tennessee. You'll be competing with faculty at institutions like this. And you want to be able to do pretty darn well. Anybody else have the experience of contacting, dealing with, discussing, maybe either through an email or a phone conversation? Has anybody ever gone to the DC area and actually walked into an office of these great gods of grantsmanship and talked to these highfalutin folks face to face? You have? What was your experience?
Well, it was about this RUI actually.
Uh-huh.
I went in and talked to, just made an appointment with somebody there, and I talked to them about RUIs in math. And they said there really isn't an RUI in math, even it's on the main, because this pot of money is so small that they can't split off into pieces.
Okay, so the funding for RUIs varies a lot from directed to directed. Okay, good advice. That prevents you from going down a blind alley, so that's good to know, right? What was your experience, sir?
I walked in and I had a meeting with the program.
You set up a meeting face to face? Okay.
It was good. He went through my proposal. It was a rejected proposal, so I wanted to know why it was rejected.
So you're looking for a post-review conference. Should you resubmit? What do you need to do to make it stronger?
Right. It was really the biggest advice. I mean, he said ignore the reviewers, resubmit, and make it. But he gave me some advice about how to make it.
He said ignore the reviewers.
He said because you'll have a new panel the next time.
Yes. Okay. Was that good advice?
Well, I didn't realize, but the first time, even though they declined it, they said fund if funds available.
Oh.
Except if funds available. But next time I got declined, it was a poor review, so I should have listened to it.
Okay, my point is this. Do not hesitate to start to open a line of communication with the funding agency before you decide to write your proposal, or how to design your project, or which funding track is available to. In most cases, you will find, in most cases, these folks are open, they're accessible, and they will do what they can to give you the best advice. Now, occasionally you'll have a bureaucrat who doesn't like dealing with people, okay, and will give you the brush off. That does happen. Okay, but I've been impressed over the years as I've convinced faculty, young faculty, graduate students, senior faculty to take this critical step. Start that line of communication. Get that feedback from the people inside the agency. These program officers has had through multiple reviews of multiple proposals over multiple years. They know an awful lot about what review panels like, what they don't like.